Hi everyone, Omeiza here. Welcome to my free Excel dashboard tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to create this beautiful login with a dashboard. So let me log in to let you see what it is that we have right here. So if we just enter the right password and username, so I'm just going to click on login and it's going to actually log us into this particular dashboard. So right now you have successfully logged in as admin. Welcome to Datawithdecision. So we can actually say okay to it, and you can see the current user is actually admin, and we have multiple login username and password right here. So let me just walk you through that. Right now, as you can see, we are logged in with this password, with this username, and this is the password right here. So we have other usernames and we have other requests. So when we get to that particular bridge, we cross it. Right now, what we're going to be concerning ourselves about is actually the dashboard right here. The dashboard is about HR training analysis. So we're going to actually be going through the I'm going to walk you through everything. Okay, let me walk you through how it works. So first of all, what you're going to look at is just this particular instruction right here. So this is what we follow to create a dashboard. So everything we need to actually show as KPI to actually make sure we have the dashboard created the way they really wanted it. So right now I'm going to click right here and close. So once you have this downloaded, you can take a look at it. If you're already a subscriber, all you just got to do is just for you to actually leave a comment under the comment section with your email handle, just for me to actually send you this template. And if you've not been a subscriber to my YouTube channel and you need this, hit the subscribe button and get this as well. Okay, right now let me show you let me take you to the data set. All right, here on the data set we have department, we have training program, and we have trainings type and all of that, and we have revenue and budget being budgeted for this particular trainings for every single training type or department whatsoever. So right now what we're going to be looking at now is how to actually get it visualized and actually create a very nice dashboard. As you can see right here, we have our own filter created without us using the pivot table. So right now if I click right, you can see our filter is just up. So right now we need to actually check those are the kind of skills that we have for the internal training, and right here now we can see this code of conduct, and if I go for online training, you can see it get filters automatically the way it should be. This is something very interesting. And these numbers 3 and 6 that you're seeing here is telling us how we actually have access to this particular dashboard right here, and the 6 here is actually telling us how many persons are actually have actually requested for login that we've not actually guaranteed to actually log into a dashboard. Just like if we go back to the login right now, you can see we have many requests. I'm going to show you how to do that when we get to that particular aspect right now. So let us concentrate on creating a dashboard just like the way we have right here, as everything get a shift, or every single time we make a click and check at this, you can see everything is just going, or you can actually select particular year 2018 and you see that, and you can clear all the filter by clicking on all skill, and you can go for all years, and there is no filter being placed on it right now. So let me show you how to create that. This is the back end to this particular Excel dashboard. It's very simple. I'm going to walk you through all straight up. So this is exactly how it is. If you've not been on this channel before and this is your first time, consider hitting the like button and subscribing as well. All those features we will have right here to have it connected to all this, like the budget, cost of training and all of that, and to make sure we have it nicely like this all through. So right now I'm going to actually show you how to create this. There is some kind of little trick right here that you need to learn. Just stay tuned to watch to the end. Okay, right now to have this done, already I have a particular template ready for our work. Alright, first in the process of creating this particular dashboard, I had actually designed this particular area of the dashboard for us to actually make it very easy. It's very simple. They are all shapes, and this is just color on the particular aspect of the sheet. So it's very simple and easy. So I'm gonna actually Ctrl Z, so it's back. So right now we just need to actually fill this combo box right here, and you know where to get it from. I'm gonna show you in a jiffy. So let me just take you down to where we need to actually get this. Okay, fine, here we go. We can actually go right now. I'm gonna delete this and show you fresh from trying to. Okay, right now here we have 5, which is 1 2 3 4 5. So right now I'm gonna actually go ahead and actually say okay, now I want the range. So where is the range? I'm gonna go to the sheet, and this range is this range to here, 5, fine, and I'm gonna link this particular one to here. Just watch and how you see how it goes. So I'm gonna link this one to the top level right here, and I'm gonna say okay right now. So now it should be 5, but it's not really complete 5 now. So we need to actually add 1 to make sure we fill this particular gap right here. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna make sure I bring this down. So bring this down, and I'm gonna put all here, all years here. So if I go back right now, I should see something very different, just like what should be. Okay, right now I think we are actually making some kind of little error. So I'm just gonna relink this again. So click on this and go back to the someplace. So this time around I'm gonna have to start again. Just take this off, then you have to relink from here down to here. So now we've captured this. Okay, fine, we are good to go. So we have all of them. So right now, to see if you have this linked and we don't have this black around it, there is no way we can actually link it individually. So we want to break this. I'm going to show you how this happens right now, but before then, let me link this to where it should be. I'm going to start to link it. So click on this, make sure you're highlighting this along as it is being grouped together. So once you have that done, you can actually go control or form control, and here we go. We need to link it up here. So already it has been linked. Just click right here and link it. If you want to have 3D, you can actually click on that and you have it. So now we've just linked it, and the next one I'm going to link right now is just this particular one. So make sure you're linking where it says all. So that should be your number 1. Okay, fine, because if you don't do that, there is going to be some kind of error. So I'm going to link this, and I'm going to go to where I should link it to. That is skills. So the skills are here. I'm going to link it right to this top level right here. So if you look at it now, individually they are working. This is going to give me 1, while it's going to give me 2. And if I go back to my analysis, yeah, it's giving me 1, it's giving me 3 on this 1, 2, 3. Well, let's see if we are actually going on the third one. Okay, fine, exactly. Go back. I'm going to show you something right now. It's giving me 1. Let me just show you an example. If we go right here and link this right now without having that black, like what we have around this particular aspect right here on it, there will be a problem. It will not be independent. So let me show you how to make it independent right now. So going back to this particular aspect, I'm going to show you an example. So I'm going to actually have to go link this separately, and you see what's going to happen. So we are linking this separately. So I'm linking this to the top level right here. I'll say okay. Fine, and if I go ahead and link this separately to something else, that means we are actually trying to use this one through another part of it. So now there'll be a problem right now. So it's already showing the problem, so I'm going to show you how that works. So now we cannot control this individually. So every single time we make a click, this one deselect, and it actually comes right here. It's giving us this. So how can we make it unique? If we click this, we want this number to actually change, not this number changing. So that is exactly what we've done right here on our dashboard. So we are having individual, the one actually linked to its own peculiar cell. So right now, how do we do that? Just go to the top level where we got all this from. So now here we go. We got this particular option button right here. But if you want to make it some kind of stand alone, so just click on this particular frame we have right here. Click on it and make sure you surround this with this. Can you see that? We are having this. So you go back again and pick another one and make sure you do the same thing to this particular one right here. So right now it is controlling this, and now this is still controlling this. So now, which means you have to relink this. So just go ahead and actually click, and we're having different groups. Just relink this particular one back to here. I just want to show you this because it's very much important. So now it's linking to the last one. We're just going to take it off. So we have to link it to this particular aspect right here and click OK, and now we have them to be independent. It's only reflecting on that particular aspect, and now it's reflecting something is a little bit wrong. Okay, what is wrong is this. So now this one is reflecting here, but it's not reflecting here, so we need to relink this particular one to the last, to the one here. So I'm just going to click right here, and I'm going to go like this. So make sure you link it to the right one. So I'm linking it to this particular number 1 here. Okay, take it off and actually go ahead and link this. Oh, okay, right now it's been linked, so I'm just gonna click OK right here. So now individually we can actually control them, and okay, now as you can see, they are actually controlling individually. So now can you see it's giving 1, this given this. It's not deactivating this for this. So this is exactly what I want to show you. Make sure you run this, and make sure every single time you do it, this is in the middle of this particular black circle you see. So this is group box 18, and this is giving us group box 20 because we have some group boxes right here before that is where it's counting. So right now we are now good to go to start creating our filter right now. Before we go ahead and create the filter, I want to see what has been selected using this particular number to get this particular part of it. So right now I'm going to say equal to index. So the index is going to be looking for the array, so we're going to provide this particular array right here, and once we hit comma, we give it this particular number. Every single time the number changes, this is what we get. So right now let me just go and actually change it to something different. So I'm going to change it to something like 20. Now with number 5, I'm going to go back, and now it's giving us 5 to be 2021. This is exactly what we need to do, and we're going to do the same thing to this particular aspect as well. Okay, we've gotten all of them achieved just like what we've actually done. So right now we are seeing all and soft skills. So if we go back to the dashboard and actually click on external right here, and I'm going to click on all the, okay, let me just click on technical skill right here, and I'm going to change this one to 28, and we go, it's just going to get updated just like what we've just clicked. Okay, the next we're going to do right now is just for us to go to the data set and actually get our ears right here. So I'm just going to go and use this particular function called ear. So I'm just going to write straight to the left, and I'm going to refer to this. If I click enter, it's going to extract all my ears for me. You can see how I have right on the data set right now. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, so 4 years of data. And if we go to this particular analysis, so we have the 4 years of data. What to make it 5th is actually the one we want to use to clear the filter. So right now the next we're going to be doing now is just to go to the same data set and actually create year check. So we're going to check for the year being selected. So how do we do that? I'm just going to say equal to if. So we are using if condition to check for this. So I'm just going to go back to my analysis. So if this particular number here is equal to, so now in double quotation, all years, so give me true. So that is true, give me true. And if, sorry, we don't need to use if again, just gonna hit comma, and I'm just gonna go back to my analysis. I'm gonna say if this particular 2018 or this particular cell is actually equal to this, go back to what, to the data set, is equal to this particular year here. That's exactly what we need to do. Then that is the case, just make that true and make any of this false. So I'm going to show you what I'm trying to say right now. So the next thing we're going to do now is actually make sure we lock this particular cell down. So let's hit enter and see. Now we have all false. So let's go and see what is going on right here. And I'm going to actually go check. Okay, we have true and false. So let us see the true. Which one is true? So right now we're having true for 2018, and let's go for the selection. What do we have selected? We are selecting 2018, and now that's exactly what it is that we need to do. So 2018 has been selected, so right now I can actually go and change this one to 1, which means we're going to select all. So right now we have all years been selected. So if we go back to the data set, what we're going to be seeing is now something different. So I'm just going to go and update this, check. Okay, fine, I'm going to go forward for true. So we have it updated. As you can see, down to the last particular one is all true because we are selecting all, which means we've just cleared the filter. That is how to create our filter. So I'm going to be doing the same thing to this particular one and this one right here, just to check if there are any some kind of being true and whatsoever. Now that's exactly what I'm going to be doing to others. So we've just learned how to create our filter. Okay, behind the scene I've actually got this one created and everything is working fine, and you can see it is all true, and we have this one all true. And let me just show you what the truths are all about. So every single one we have all right here, all and all, so they're actually to clear the filter, which means we're actually selecting everything, so it clears the whole filter. But when we actually try to change this one to like 2 right now, we change this one to 2 as well, we change this one to 2 as well, which means we've actually placed a filter right now on it. So if we go back to our data sets, we can actually see that we are having false at some places, while we're having true, we have them to be really true. Now, before we proceed to run our analysis, the first thing we're going to do right now is to visit back the dataset again and click anywhere from here and just go to the top level right here and actually click on design. So once we click on design, we're going to see this particular aspect where it says table name. Under this table name, you can actually give your table any name you feel like. So right now, I'm just going to say, okay, HR data, just like I have right here, HR analytic, okay, analytics data underscore. So make sure you have underscore if you want to actually separate them. So I'm going to say data HR analytic underscore data. So if I hit enter, that is what is going to actually travel with the data every single time we call that. So that means we call the whole table, and we can actually use what we call table nomenclature to refer to a particular segment of it, which is a particular column. So right now we go back to our analysis, and here we are. The first we're going to do right now is just to use what I call sum product to summarize our data. Okay, now I'm going to say sum product. So once we have that, I'm going to actually have to open the first bracket right now and actually type in my what? My HR data. My HR data, which is HR analytic data right here. So I'm just going to shift this a little bit down to this end. Okay, what do we do next? So the next thing we're going to do is actually open this particular curly brace, and once you have this curly brace opened, it's going to show you all the columns we have existing in the table. Those are all the columns that is existing in the table. Nothing is actually left hidden. So first of all, we're going to check the year. So right here we're going to check the year. So we're going to have to close this, and again we're going to close the brackets, and I will just say okay, multiply and open in the bracket, and we type in the name of the table again because we want to get on that column right here. So just type HR analytic data. So we have what we need to actually have on the curly brace open. So right now every single columns are back right here. So what we're looking for is just the check. So we've checked for the year. So we're gonna check for the trainer. So right now we check for the trainer, check. So we close the curly brace here, and we close this. We just click on multiply again. So please watch this step because I'm not going to be writing this step over and over again. After this, we're going to be copying this from here and just make a little track to get what we really wanted. So now I'm going to open this new bracket again, and I'm going to say HR. So we have the curly brace open, and we need to actually check for the last for the last filter, and the last filter is T training type check. So now we get that right here. So I'm just gonna actually go so that we can see it so better. Beg your pardon. So right now we need to actually have this closed. So once we have this closed, I'm gonna close this, and the last multiplication we're gonna have right now is just to open a curly brace, and now we want to check if it is online, and we just need to know what it is. It's training type, right? So now we want to see online, external and internal whatsoever. So right now we need to actually still type our HR. So what this is very logical. We need to understand what is going on right here right now. So we need to actually go to the column again and actually select for what? Training type. And the training type, not trainer but training type. Right now we need to go for the training type. We have this closed, and we're gonna put equal to, that is gonna be equal to this particular training right here alone. So I'm gonna have to close this 2 times, and it will close the last one right here. So if I hit enter, now let's see what we have. We're having 0 right now. I'm gonna be dragging this one down here, and we have all 0. So let's see what's going on. Okay, let's just try to phantom what is wrong with our formula. So we need to check this training type. Is it the same thing as online, external and internal? If that is true, then we should actually go ahead and see what it is. Okay, right now we can see online, internal and external. So it's actually trainer type, not training type. So training type is soft skill and what and technical skill. So we need to change this particular column header right here. So we go back to the analysis, and we just go and double click on this right now and actually change this column a whole. So we just need to actually get it away from here, and now we just go forward. Training type, that is trainer type. So if I actually go and head and actually hit enter right now, we should get the correct one, just like this. I think that is exactly what it is. So the error is very simple to be made, but if you look closely, you will definitely understand this. So right now we need to actually get the total training. So right now I'm just gonna say sum So that is simple summation will do that for us. So if I hit enter, we have 642. So right now we want to verify if really online training. So right now let us see if we don't have any filter on it. So we have all, and we have all filter being cleared. So you can actually verify. Once you have this done, you can go ahead and verify how many online training do we have. Do we have almost 18? So I'm just going to go right here and actually select online. So online, and I'm gonna go and actually make sure I select everything and go right here, and we can see the count is actually 18, which means it's very correct. And if we go from online to another one, I'm gonna select external and I'm gonna put off online, and if I go, so now let us look at what it is. It's giving us 81, so we can now go and verify if that is really true. And if we have 81 right there, so we are having 18 and 81, which is very much correct. So we've just created the first one. This is our first analysis. So right now the next one we're going to be doing right now is actually this particular aspect where we have departmental wise. This is going to be way easy. So what we need to do right now is to go to the data set and actually go on where we have our department done. So the column of department is actually this particular column right here. So what I need to do, I'm going to select everything right here. I'm going to Ctrl C. I just need to copy, but I'm having filter on it. I'm going to have to make sure I clear the filter. So right now I have the filter cleared. So I'm going to reselect again, deselect everything. So now I copied it. So if I copy, I can go right here and make sure I remove everything that has to do with duplicates. So drop it down right here, and I'm going to go to the top level right now and see how we can actually remove the duplicate from it. Go data and actually go on the remove duplicate. So once we have that done, it has header, so just click on duplicate. So the duplicate is being away, so we don't really want the header to be there, so we can actually copy this one away from here. Just say copy, and we go to our data analysis, that is analysis sheet. So right now we have to place them right here, but we don't want to do this just like that, else it's going to give us a weird color. So what you just need to do right now is just to right click and actually go to paste spatial, and now we can actually click on this one that is paste value. It's going to actually paste this for us. So now we just have it right here. So how many people are being trained in this particular department? That is what we need. I told you we're not going to be writing this over and over again. Instead, we're going to be copying this away from here. I'm just going to say copy. So we have it copied, and I'm going to have to drop it here. And now if you look at this, it's looking up to this particular online. So instead of that, I'm going to actually have to change this to this particular aspect. But if I go ahead and say okay, it's going to give me 0 all true, even though if I actually make it go down. So it's giving me some kind of weird number, which is 0 all true. But we can change the narration. So what we need to do right now is just to change this training to look at the department. So I'm going to say department. So we have to close this as well. If I hit enter, it's giving me 17, and it can actually take this down, and I've just gotten it like this. So this is exactly what we need to do. Can you see that? It's very easy. So right now, instead of we to go and copy from the previous one, we can actually copy from here. Okay, fine, sorry for that. So we need to copy again. So we copy, and we just make a little change right to this, just say paste. So now what we need to do right now, I'm just gonna actually have to drop this here again. So we need to just make this sure we change this to what, to our budget. But to see that, we're just gonna go back to our data set and see what is the name of the column. So we can see budget is training budget and it's training cost. So if we go back to analysis, so we can actually go ahead and actually do the same thing that we've just done. Just change this, just go to the middle one right here, change this to what, to training budget. So right now we're on budget, so I'm gonna say training budget. It's giving me the value. Okay, I think I'm having some kind of little bit error. So what we need to do, simple something. So instead of we to just change this department, we're gonna leave the department like that and come right here and use under multiplication right on this and open a new bracket. Right now I want to check for the budget. So now I'm gonna say HR, and we're gonna open a new curly brace, and now we type the training budget training budget right now. We have this closed. I'll close the new bracket we have opened, and now it's going to give us the same thing. So what we need to do right now, instead of we to actually go and start to write this over and over again, we can just copy and make a little trick. As I've told you before, now we can do this. So now this is actually representing our pivot table. This is exactly what is happening behind the scene that you don't know that pivot table is doing. So right now we are doing hours. So now instead of the budget, we're just gonna clear this away from here. It's gonna be training costs. So I'm gonna scroll down to the column. I choose that. I'm gonna hit enter. Now we have two different numbers. So I'm just gonna go right here and actually swap with them. So this is exactly what we have right here. So if we go and do some kind of cross-checking right now, you will find out that we're having the same thing. So if you are still watching up to this end, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and let me know what you're feeling about this, so that I can actually have more energy to create more tutorials for you guys. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna do now is just to make sure we do some amazing work right here. If you look at this dashboard, every single time we place a filter, we just get to see that now if we don't have value for this, it's going to clear out just like what our pivot table does. So we want to actually mimic the pivot table or what is going on behind this pivot table to create something like this again. And as well, we want to actually rank it from the highest down to the lowest. That is exactly what we want to do. So right now, let me show you what's going on right here. In case you don't do that, this is exactly what you're going to have. So where we don't have value, we will give us 0, 0, 0, and we don't want that. Instead, we don't want the whole line to show up. We want to actually make sure the line disappears. That is exactly what we are doing with this right now. If we go select something like 20 okay, I select 2020, select 2018 right now, and we go ahead and select online, and we select technical skill, and you can see how everything is going on. So right now there is no female person, so but if we select on male, we're gonna have it to be 100%. So we can see how everything is actually shifting. That is exactly what we're about to create right now. So let's just go to the right sheet and start creating that. So here we go, we're gonna be using this particular aspect. So now we're gonna have to see what the t-check right here is, that we are trying to check for what we're trying to check for how many for this particular number. I think we need to change this from t-check to empty check, like this, like empty check. So you understand what I'm trying to say right now. I'm just gonna say equal to, so we want to check for the people right here. But before we do that, let me just go ahead and place some filter so that we can have what I'm actually trying to achieve right on this. So if I go back to my analysis, you can see we have some zeros right here right now. This is exactly what I'm trying to do, but it's too much, so I can actually go ahead and reduce this to all, and let's see what we have. So we have some zeros right here. So let's see now. Empty check now is this. I'm gonna say if this particular one right here is greater than 0, I want you to give me this. So else, if it is not, just give me empty. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. So right now it's giving me 4 because it is greater than 0. So if I go down right now, where we don't have anything, we are going to have this. So right now, the next thing we're going to do right now is to check for the unique, because we can have 4. You can have 4 here, 4 here. It's going to be some kind of tricky for the system to actually dictate which particular department is having 4 and which one to bring forth. So right now we need to check for the unique number. So we need to create some kind of uniqueness for every single number right here. So to create a unique number right now, we need to divide this by a very large number. So now what we need to do, we just need to actually say that is this plus, I'm going to say plus rows. The reason why I'm having plus rows because I want to copy this down. So I'm just going to say from this row, from this particular cell to this same cell right here, I'm going to have to close this and divide it by a very huge number. I'm going to divide it by 1 million. So right now I need to have to log this particular first Q22 down. So we need to log that first Q22 down. So right now this is very unique. I'm going to copy this down. So right now I'm having some kind of this value because we have empty right here. So I'm just going to clear this away right now. I'm just going to double click on this and I'm going to use if error. So I told you it's a combination of different types of function we're going to be using right here. So give me nothing. So I'm going to hit enter. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is just to copy this down. So that's exactly what we have. So right now we have 1. So instead of 2, 3, 4, so we don't have them, it takes them away. So it's very unique. So if we are having, let's say we are having 4 right here, for example. So if we're having 4 there, so we can now see this 4 is very unique because this is 4, this is 4. It makes it very unique for us. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 when it gets to that aspect. So we are still having our main number right there. So now we need to actually sort this from the worst, from the largest to the lowest. That is exactly how we got this particular aspect here. Through this sorting, we'll be able to rank it from the largest to the lowest. As you can see, it's from the largest to the lowest, and if you look at this bar right now, it's actually it's declining down to the lowest number right here. So that's exactly how we got it. So let us just go ahead and do something like that. Okay, to sort this, we're going to use what we call large function. You can see another function is being introduced again. So the large function is just going to go and actually sort this. Okay, I'm going to click OK. It can't really go like that, so I need to actually provide it what number. So this is exactly normal large. I'm going to say 2. So now it's larging from the, this is the second to the highest one, right? So it's 6, it should be first one. If I actually go right here and say 1, so it's going to give me 6. So but right now that is not what we really want, so we need to do something different. I'm going to say, because I'll be copying down, I'm going to use the same rows function, and that is going to be from this particular row. So we have to close this, and now we need to actually log the first R down as we copy down. So as we copy down right now, this is going to give us 1 2 3 4 5 and all of that. So right now we've just gotten this. So if I hit enter, it's giving me this, but right now it's going to throw out another error, which means we need to actually work it out. So right now you can actually see it's giving us all the numbers and giving us the kind of empty we have 1 2 down right here. So now let us see what we can do. We just need to use if error to wrap this up. If error. So we need to actually say if there is error, give us nothing, and hit enter, and we're going to go down. That is exactly what it is. Now if you look at here, there is an error, but you cannot really notice if there is an error, but there is an error. So it's not actually 5 different rows. So now it's just here is 5. It's giving us 5 on a count. It's giving us 5 right here, or 7 on a count, but 5 is actually with values. So now it's giving us just 4 right here. The reason why is just because we've not actually locked this particular large function down. So now with your control 1, you have this done, and just hit enter. And right now let me just copy down and let you see what is going on. So now can you see that we just have those 2 cells that like what we have right here, we have them like that. So right now the next we're going to be doing now is just to get to see how we can bring our department right here. Okay, to bring this particular department right here that is actually peculiar to these numbers we have here, what do? We can use combination of index and merge. So I'm going to say equal to index. So just have to look carefully and see what it is that we are going to do to achieve this. So the array is just gonna from here to here, and now it's asking for the row number. For the row number, I'm gonna use match, and my match is gonna take this sorting right here. I'm gonna hit comma, and I'm gonna go right here and provide this particular lookup array. Now that's exactly what it is. So right now I can actually say I want you to give me exact match, which is 0, and I can have it closed. So now we've just gotten this done. So all we need to do right now is just to lock this down and lock this particular aspect down as well. Okay, now that we've made the index this particular aspect some kind of absolute, and here absolute right now, we can go ahead and hit enter, and exactly we've just gotten this. So we just need to go and make sure we take it down. So we've just gotten what we wanted, but something is actually missing. I'm going to tell you what it is that is missing, but before that let me just go right here and turn this on. Okay, right now I'm going to turn the header, and so they can actually make sure I do some kind of setting. Okay, now I can expand this. So fine. Okay, let's see what we are trying to achieve right now on this. So if I go ahead and double click, and actually now if you see we have corporate, and we don't have anything right here. We won't actually clear this just for we to actually get to see where we're having value and what particular this value is peculiar to all this. So now to get this away, I'm just gonna go double click right here, and I'm gonna use if condition to get that done. I'm gonna say if this particular number right here is actually empty, which is if it is empty like this, I want to just display nothing. Then if it is not, I want to display everything we have right here, which means they are true. So just display them, and I'm just gonna go ahead and actually click on close, and I hit enter. Okay, fine. Sorry, so let me just try it again. I'm so sorry for that. So we need to actually have equal to right here, not comma. It's going to be equal to. So if I now hit enter, it works. So right now let's see how we drive that away. Just double click on it, and here we go. So right now, because we have nothing right here, they're not going to show. But every single time we have the filter being cleared, that means we have everything to show up. So if we go back right now, it fills it up with what we have right here, but it's different from what is here. It's not as arranged as what it is that is here, because already we have already ranked it. So right now we need to do something to actually bring how many people actually got trained for this particular type of skill. Oh, so sorry. So this last one is very easy to extract how many people got trained. So it's very easy, and we're just gonna use what we call VLOOKUP. I'm gonna say VLOOKUP, and what VLOOKUP is looking for is the lookup value. So I'm just gonna say look this up, and where do you want to look this up? You're just gonna go right here and check it and look it up from here, because I'm gonna be copying this. I'm gonna go right here and you stop it right here. And what do you need? We're gonna be needing, like, this is the index, so we're gonna be needing 1, 2, the second one. I know you know how to use VLOOKUP previously before now, and we need the exact match, which is true. I'm gonna actually have to close it and hit enter. Now we just have the number right here. So what we need to do now is to copy this down, but if we do that, we're gonna have some kind of weird answer. That is crazy. So we need to actually have to log this particular aspect down here. Alright, to make them absolute, I'm gonna hit enter right now, and now I can actually take them down. We have something like this, right? But there is some kind of weird. Okay, if we go back, we can see we're having this, so we know how to clear this off. So we just need to actually use if error as well. So we've been using this before now, it's not something new to us again. So if error, I'm just gonna hit my comma, so just give me nothing. Sorry for that, just give me nothing. I close it, and I have to drag this down. So we've just gotten something like this. So we've got for this, and the next thing we're gonna be doing now is what is for we to check for. We're gonna do the same thing for what? We're gonna do the same thing for budget, for cost, but I don't have time to actually get to do that. So I want to keep this particular tutorial very short. The same process I've actually taken to do this for you is still the same process you would need to use to actually do other part of it. So right now we need to actually go ahead and make a visualization. Let's see what it is. So it's very simple. All you just gotta do is just to copy this away from here to actually create for the remaining one. Just copy it and drop it right here. So once you have it copied and drop it right here, make sure you change this to budget, because what we are creating now is for budget. So now you can see when we actually do that, we have this. So we have just check for budget. You can drag this down, and it's actually checking for budget. So now it's not really proper, so I'm just going to drag this for this as well. So now we have something nice that we're looking for. So we've just checked for budget, and now we need to actually go for the real the next one, which is this unique aspect of it. So I'm just going to copy this from here and go for the unique, and I'm going to drop this down for unique, so you can see what unique is all about. Unique is actually looking for this particular check. So now I'm going to actually have to make sure this is actually coming to this aspect here. If I go and actually drag it down, I'm gonna have something like this, right? Sorry, I'm gonna drag this one down. I'm gonna have something like this. That's exactly what it is. So the next thing we're gonna do now is actually check for uniqueness, and we're gonna check for what we don't just do for this particular sorting here. So we just place the sorting right here, and you check where the sorting is looking at. The sorting is looking at the unique aspect. So we need to actually drag this to unique. So this is how we can actually do something very snappy, and you can see it's very easy and a smart way to create your dashboard. So now we can actually go ahead and do this. Now we get it. So we don't need to do this over and over again. If you've just gotten the fourth aspect, you've gotten them all. So you don't need to actually recreate this department again. So we need to actually go come into use this department to do our visualization. And now for the budget. So what can we do now? We need to actually copy this from here and just make a little tweak on it. So I'm going to copy this and get for the budget. Ctrl V. We just have to drop it down. So now we need to look. We are still looking at sales, and our budget is sitting on what? Our budget is sitting on 1, 2, 3. So in third one. So I'm gonna double click, and actually go change this one to 3. Okay, I'm gonna go for 3. So if I hit enter, so now we have the right budget right here. So now we've just gotten this done. So this is what we need. Those ones in those colors is what we're gonna be needing to create our visualization as we are ready to do that. So behind the scene, let me just check this one's out. All right, behind the scene, we've just gotten the total cost for the training right here. So no, we need to get a balance. It's just very simple. It's just particular the budget. We're gonna subtract it from what, from the total cost. So we just get our balance. So how much is left after we spend the whole money, and we know how to get this error away, right? So it's very easy and simple. So I'm gonna say if error. So we go, and if that is true, so just close it, and I'm gonna hit copy down. So now we just get something like this. So it is time for you to go for visualization and see how swift it is and how very simple and easy it is. So right now, what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to hit my dashboard for the first time. I'm just going to get this away from here. Oh, sorry for that. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to click in here, and actually I'm going to move this away from here. And we're going to take a look at how to do this and get it in order. So right now, what I'm going to do is just to hit an equal to. I go to analyze, and I hit cells, hit enter. So now we've gotten this one right here now. So what I want to do is just to make sure we drag this down to this aspect. So we've just gotten this down. So oh, sorry, we need to get for the department. So now this is going to go for the department. So I'm just gonna go and actually cut this away from here. I'm gonna cut it away from here. I'm gonna take it to the department. I'm gonna drop it down here. So now what I'm gonna do is just to make sure I bring it down. Here is my department. So we just got it. So now the training, numbers of person trained. I'm gonna go back right here for training. I'm gonna go this for budgets. So we need to pick the budgets. Go for budget. I will pick budgets from here and go for costs. I'm gonna pick cost from here as well. So the costs and the balance, I'm gonna pick it up. So here's the balance, I'm gonna pick it up as well. So now we just got it. So I'm gonna actually highlight this whole step, and here we go. Nice, clear. We've just gotten this done. So now if I select a particular year 2018, so now you see it get updated. And if I select online, now it's updating just like what we really wanted. So right now I'm not going to do the same thing over and over again to show you this. Instead, I'm just going to go ahead and show you and actually create it and make it filled right here. But before we do any of that, let me just show you how to actually click on this, and you get it disappear, and when you click on it you get it reappear again. So let me just show you how to do that. Okay, first of all, what we need to do, after you might have gotten all these created, you need to actually group them together, which I have actually done. I've grouped them together, and I'm going to go to the top level right here and actually search for what. You're just going to click right here and search for the select panel, so selection panel. So you click on it and you have the selection panel pops up. And already after I grouped it together, I've actually clicked on this and actually named it for, I named this like filter underscore panel. So I'm going to copy this filter underscore panel from here and go and do justice to it right there. So now I can actually have this closed right now, which means this is the name of this particular panel right here. So I'll now go to VBA and write a very simple code which I had been written before, and if you are not new to my dashboard, you won't understand what it is. So I'm just going to make it a full screen, and now here we have it. This is the particular dashboard we are actually building. Those things we have right on it. So I'm just going to go and actually insert a module. So now a module is being inserted. Let's see how we can actually get it done. Okay, to start with, we're going to say sub. So I'm going to say subs. Okay, just going to say activate underscore filter. So that's the name of it. That's the one, the button we are trying to create right now. So I'm going to say if active sheet. So the active sheet, which is the sheet we are onto right now, dot shape. Dot shapes. I'm going to open it, and now the shape we actually created, I'm going to paste it in, and I will explain to you what it is that this is doing. Is equal to dot value, sorry, dot value equal to false, then. So now we're going to write this over and over again. I'm just going to copy this from false down to here. I'm going to copy it, and right now I'm going to go and paste this one right here and just turn this one to true. So now I'm going to say else, I paste it again, and this is exactly what we need to do. So if I just say run it, okay, I need to actually use my end if. I need to end if right here, and if So I'm gonna run it, and now let's debug it and see what is going on right here with it. Oh, sorry for that. So we need to use visible instead of value. Visible dot shape dot visible. So we need to actually use visible right here. So visible. So let's test it out and see if it is working for us. So no error, which means it's working. There is no error. So right now what this is doing is this: if active sheet, and the active sheet is actually this particular sheet that is being active right now. So we don't have it right here again, so it means it has disappeared. Now it's going to be showing. I'm going to run it again. So if I run this, it's showing. If I run this, it's going to disappear. So I'm going to have to close this now. You see it shows and it disappears. So now if this particular sheet has a particular shape on it that is called filter panel, and the visibility is false, so if I have it clicked, which is this active filter right here that I run, if I have the code run, I want it to be true. Else if I run it again for the second time, I want it to be false, which is going to get hidden. I'm going to close this right now and actually apply it to this particular one right here for the first time. I'm going to show you how to do this. Okay, now you go for assign macro, and you can actually locate where you have your active vet filter. So I'm going to double click on it right now. If I click on it, I bring it to the top level right here, and now I can actually carry this one now and cover this right here, exactly something like this, and make sure I highlight it alone and click on it, assign macro. So you're gonna assign the same macro to it. So now here we go. You can see if I click on it, it appears. If I click on this one, it appears. This is exactly what I've done to create this particular amazing dashboard. So right now you've just gotten it ready, and now we are ready to roll to the next level. So the next I'm going to show you right now, before I actually go on this particular one right here, is for me to show you how to create this particular type of chart we have right here. So as you can see, we have this particular speedometer chart right here. This is very unique. So I've never created this before, but right now we're going to be doing a very good, amazing work to have this created. So just watch out and see how we just get it created. Okay, to start creating the chart I've just seen, so what we need to do, we need to actually go and copy this. I've told you, we don't need to reinvent the wheel again. So now I'm just going to copy this away from here. Then we're going to start creating this. So it has a lot of logic around it. I'm going to show you what the logic is all about. So sorry for that. So just watch out and see how we can actually link that chart. So I'm just going to paste this right here. And now that I've pasted this, what we need to do now is just to make a little track on it. So we're just going to have to change this particular aspect to what? Just need to change it to gender. Yeah, it's a column. Gender is a column, and we need to change this to E. Yes, change this to what? To E22. If I hit enter, now I just have it. So I just gonna go and copy this down, and we have something nicely like this. So if we go right now and cross check this, we're gonna have the same thing. Let's say we want to check for female. It's giving us 2, 3, 4. So we can go to the data set and make sure we don't have any filter on it, and we just go to where we have gender. So just place this. So now let's just count how many genders we have. We're having 2, 3, 4 just as a count right here. I believe you can see that, which means it's very, very correct. So now we can actually go back to our analysis sheet and start creating this. So now let me show you something on the chart before we go ahead and start creating. So as you can see right here, individual bar is 12.5. Individually is actually 12.5. On the previous one, if I go back to this particular one right now, you can see 12.5, 12.5, 12.5, and calculate them together is going to give you 100%, just like what we have right here. That is where we're going to start from. That was why I'm naming the big chart right here. This particular circle, half circle we're having right here is 2.5, 2.5, and it's giving us 100%. So if we go right now, we're just going to put the same 2.5 right there. All we need to do right now is just going to be 12.5. So I just have to scroll this down to the last one, 12.5, and here we're gonna have to sum this together. So it should give us 100%. It should give us 100. No, it's gonna give us 100. I told you that. So it's gonna give us 100. Now we can now go ahead and create our chart. So we can go ahead and create our chart right now. So just go to the top level right here, go to insert and insert the type of chart that you want to use for this. Okay, it's taking a while. So here we go. We can now go for this particular donut chart. So we have it like this. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to have to remove the title. I don't need this as well. We need to have to remove it again, and I'm going to take it down. Okay, just leave it this way. Okay, now what I'm going to do, Control 1 will help me to bring this particular formatting right up. So click right here and actually click on this. So make sure you're clicking on it and turn this to 270. Just 27 gives you 270, exactly what it is. So now what we need to do, what we have just done is just we flipped this. We have just flipped it, and now we need to go to fill. So just show you're clicking this alone. So now it's highlighted and this color is showing. So we're going to say now fill, and we're going to border. Then we need to actually say no border to it as well. Exactly, this is what we want. So we are almost there to create a kind of chart we've just seen. Okay, the next thing we're going to do right now is to remove every single particular border and the field color. We've removed it, and I'm going to click right here and remove this particular border from it as well. There is no border on it right now, it's free of border. So now this is exactly what we have gotten. So right now I'm going to move this to my dashboard to actually start working on the colors. So I'm going to cut it away from here. I'm going to go to my dashboard, and here we go, dashboard. Okay, I have it dropped here. Now I can actually move this so that it can clear away from me. So we have to plug it so well. Now we got it. Okay, fine, we're almost there. So the next we're going to do right now is to change the color, right? If you look at it, we have space between these particular colors we have right here. I'm going to click right on it, and I'm going to go right here and put make sure this 0.5. So remove this 0 and have 5 there, and now we can see we have this particular, yes, exactly, this is what it is. So right now we're going to have to turn this to what? Turn this to green. So what kind of green do we want for it? So I'm going to go to the top level right here and choose the color I really feel like I want for it. So now we need to actually try to get a matching color for it. So now I'm going to go for this particular type of green, and if I click it, the next thing I'm going to do right now, I'm going to click back on it again and go to gradients, and I'm going to select this type of it. So now I have something like this for it. So we're going to be cleaning the color till we get to this particular aspect. It turns to from green, it's going to yellow, going to red, just like what we have in the previous one, just like something like this. So we might not build it perfectly because I'm just trying to illustrate to you how all this should be done, but you can actually sit down and practice and do it so well yourself. Okay, going back to the one we are doing right now. So here we go. I can actually choose this and click on this, and make sure you're clicking on this alone. I'm not going to waste much of my time right here because I've just shown you how to do it. Just click on design. Oh, sorry, let's click on format, and from format click on this, and because we have this already down right, I can actually click on it, and I'm gonna go back to it again and do something to tweak the color. So right now I can actually go and move this a little bit up, so which means it's going to be some kind of brighter. So we go in, so we can actually keep doing this over and over again. Okay, just manage this particular color scheme for me. Okay, you can actually do your own better than this. So now what you need to do, you need to actually show the high and the low plus the middle, just like what I'm showing you right here right now. It's just like this. So now we can go ahead and actually make sure I play this so well. So I'm gonna make sure I bring this down. So bring this down as well, centralize it. So if you're doing this yourself, you just need to take a very good time to actually make sure you have it well arranged, just like the way you say the mastered one. So now I'm going to take it up a little bit. So now we've just gotten this right here. So I'm going to go back right here and actually see what we can do. So now for the first time, we need to actually go back to the top level and actually insert an option button. So now we need to actually insert this 2 option button right here. So I'm going to click on it and actually have this here, and the first one I'm going to actually it to be, I'm going to delete everything. So I'm going to type M, N stands for male, so I'm gonna make so I'm gonna have to duplicate this, and I'm gonna put F, which stands for female. So we have F, and now don't click it, don't make it clicked. Yes, just make sure you give it some kind of nice alignment. So make it tab. Yeah, we're good to go. So I'm gonna actually have to bring it down, bring it up a little bit. I'm gonna group them together. So group them together right now, have it down then grouped. So the color is not really amazing, so I'm gonna go to the top level right here, and I'm gonna hit in the color. Okay, fine. Okay, go to insert. I'm gonna insert this. So I have to insert this, so I'm gonna bring them. Okay, so you just have to click this and bring it to the top level. Just right click and say in front. So now here we go. So if I go ahead and actually move this right now, it's sitting on it. So I'm gonna change this to the color to white, and I have to reduce the white to something like this, and I'm gonna say no border, and we have something like this, just like what we have there. So now it's not reflecting on any one of it. So right now I'm gonna actually have to go and select this one alone, make sure it's been selected, and I'm gonna link it somewhere like this. So now we're gonna link this now to where I'm gonna link this to the chart. I need to link this to the top level right here. I'm gonna link it there. So I hit OK, we have it linked, and every single time we make a change it gives us. So the reason why it's not affecting this one now is because already we have this one actually surrounded with some kind of group stuff. So now we have two right here. So this is exactly what it is. So we want to see which one has been selected right now. I'm gonna go right here and say index, and the index is looking for the array, and here is the array, and this is the row number. So I want to see which one has been selected, and this is what has been selected. Male has been selected. So right now we want to get the value of what has been selected. So the value we want to get is not just value but the percentage. For to get that, I'm just going to say okay fine, what is the sum of these both numbers right here? So here is the sum of it. So I'm going to get a percentage. It's just going to be this particular number right here. I'm going to divide it by this total, so it's going to give me my percentage, and I'm going to have to log this down because already I'm going to copy it down so that it shouldn't move from there. So now if I now copy this to the one here, so it's giving me the percentage. So right now I want to see this particular percentage being reflecting right here. I'm going to say VLOOKUP, and my VLOOKUP is going to go for this, and the lookup array is here, and I'm going to say for the second one exact match. If I hit enter, I get this right. So we need to actually go Ctrl 1 to take us there. So I need to go for percentage. Oh, sorry for that, I don't need to do that. So I need to just go and change this one to 3. So now I'm having my percentage right. Sorry, we need to do this again. So we need to do this again. So now I'm gonna say look up something from here exactly. So 3, and I'm gonna give exact match, which is gonna be 0. Have it closed, and it's giving me this. So right now this is what is being selected right now. So this is how we're just gonna create our needle. So instead of me to get this one right here, I'm gonna be having my needle right there. I'm gonna call this away from here. I'm gonna have to place this right here. So right now I'm gonna be having my needle here. So for now I'm gonna have to go and put it on percentage, and it's gonna be on no extra decimal. Have it something like this being selected. Okay, for a precaution, I'm just gonna double click this and actually use if error for it. So I'm gonna say if error, so just go, and if there is any error give me 0, and I'm gonna have to close this, and that is exactly what it is. So now I need to actually come right here and refer to this, equal to this. So I have the percentage right here. So what I'm gonna do right now, my needle is gonna be 1. So let me show you what I'm talking about right here. So here's my needle, here's the needle I'm talking about. So every single time I make a shift, so you're gonna see it's gonna move. So this needle this very needle that is moving right now, we wanna make it 1. So right now, if I go back, I'm gonna go right here. So I have made my needle 1, and I'm gonna come right here and say 200%, 200%. So minus the sum of what? The sum of these two right here. So what does it give me? Okay, it's giving 135%. So exactly. So right now this is my blank area. So this is my needle, and this is the focus area right here. Okay, fine. Okay, now we need to add our needle. So just click right here and right click on it and actually go forward, select data. And once you get to select data, what you're gonna do right now is actually add new series. So click on add new series. Don't mind this particular series name right there. Just clear this and actually go for this. So now this needle we've actually got created something wrong. Okay, I'm gonna actually go and correct this. Okay, so I've gotten it corrected. So we can go into a dashboard. So click on this and right click on it and go towards select data. And I've told you, you just have to clear this by actually clicking on add, and you clear this away from here. So clear this and actually go for this analysis sheet and highlight these 3 together. So now we can actually say OK and just hit on OK right here. So now we've just gotten this ready. So the next thing we're going to do right now is we're going to click back again, but this time around we're not going to do the same thing by going to select data, instead change series. So going to change series, I'm going to go right here, and this is the series we just added, the second series we've added, and I'm going to click and actually change it to this particular pie chart. I'm going to hit OK. So now we just get something like this. So I'm going to actually have to click here and make sure I bring it to the top level. I'm going to say front. So now you send the other one to the back. So I'm just going to go double click on it, and first of all what I'm going to do right now is just to remove the border. So I'm going to go and take it away. So just select this and click on everything now and make sure you get the border away from here. There is no border, so that is exactly what I really wanted to do. So now I'm going to double click and make sure I have this particular color selected alone, and I'm going to say no fill. So right now I've just gotten this, but it's looking at a very wrong place, right? So I'm just going to make sure I deselect and actually go back and select this. So I've selected the whole stuff. I'm going to go right here and make sure you have this on 270 just like the previous one. I'm going to say 27. So if I deselect it and if I actually go right here, so now it's giving me the right one. So now we've just gotten this done. So I'm going to say okay, double click on it and make sure I highlight this alone, this very one alone right here. And what I'm going to do right now is just to go to this and hit this and turn this to white. Yeah, you get it. So turn this to white, right click on it, and pardon for that. Okay, if you look at this right now, it's a little bit weird. It's not just like what we have right here. So I'm just going to show you this. So right now we're having this particular needle at the top of this particular one here. So let me show you that. So now if you can see, the needle is at the top right here, but now this one is beneath it. So in case you're having the same error, so this is how you solve it. Just click on that particular one. So right click on it and go back to this particular change series type, and you just put this one on secondary axis. So now when you hit enter, and we're gonna have something like this. Exactly, we just have it. So this is exactly what it is. So the next thing we're gonna do right now, I'm just gonna click on the needle alone. I have the needle clicked right here. So this is the needle selected. Make sure you're selecting the needle alone. So it's been selected. So we need to change the needle series. Once you have it selected, all you just gotta do is just to right click on it. Once you right click, just go to select data and actually select data label. So you have it selected and it's giving you this weird number right here, 60. Okay, fine. Gonna actually say go back again. It seems my selection is bad, so I'm gonna go and make sure I'm highlighting this alone. All of this has been highlighted. So double click here. Exactly, it's working right now. So just go and actually select entirely built right now. Now once you have that selected, it's gonna give you one right here, and now click on that one. It gives you, and actually put on your equal to right at the top level right here. So click on this, so equal to, and we can now go to data analysis. So here we go, we choose this particular one here and we hit enter. We have our 64% right. So I'm gonna go here and make sure I change this to pure white, so I have it. So I'm gonna make it bold and I'm gonna increase it so that the visibility will be very, very tough. Okay, now we have something like this. So now if we just go right and select this, okay, fine, I'm gonna actually go ahead and click on this. So make sure I click on everything, and right now I'm gonna send this to the back. I'm gonna send this to the back. So now fine, so just click on this and make sure you send this to the back as well. So the correction is made, so I think we're fine. So we cannot click this right now. So you can see every single time we make a selection, we have it go up and down. So this is how we created this particular type of speedometer, and it responds to the filter we're having right here. Every time we make a selection, it actually gives a response to it, so it changes and it's working so fine. So the next thing we're going to be doing right now is that now we can see the 0% is giving us, and if we go to female, it's going to give us 100%, which is very high. Exactly is what it is. So now I'm going to actually click right here and click on this and make sure I move it a little bit here. Okay, fine. So I'm gonna click on this. I'm gonna have to shrink it a little bit. Shrink this. Okay, fine. Then if I go and actually make sure this is what it is. So now the next thing we're gonna be doing now is that we are having the analysis right here, which you need to actually take a look at. So it's giving us out of this number of people who actually got trained, this is how many are female and this is how many are male. So now how can we do that? So we just have to use something very simple. But before we do that, let's just go and actually concern myself much about visualization first on our dashboard. So I've just gotten those ones right here with the pictures, and it's very simple. You can actually search the internet to get the pictures, any one of your choice, and actually have it right here. So right now, for me to get this right now, I'm just going to click right here and actually have my equal to right on it. So what I'm going to get right now is actually external. So I'm going to go for analysis and actually click on where we have external, the numbers. I'm going to get it right here, and here we have it. So we can actually take care of this by actually going to the top level right here and make sure we actually select this and bump it up to our satisfaction. I'm gonna actually have to select this 32, copy it so I can give it the kind of color I really want for it, and I'm so sure of this color to be cool, and I'm gonna make it bold if I feel like, and I can actually double click on this and actually give it to order. Sorry for that. Can't do that, so I'm gonna go do it manually. So we have just achieved this. So the same thing we've just done on this particular aspect right here is what we've just done to have this achieved. So that is why I'm not gonna actually much concern myself about creating this. So exactly, you can actually do this all by yourself. Okay, now that you've learned about that, so if we go to our main dashboard right now, you can see there is not much difference between what we have right here from what we have right there. So the next thing that's going to be left now is actually creating this particular EOS, which is very, very simple to be created. If you can actually gonna do it yourself, it's very cool, but if you want to do it together, just stay tuned and see how we can get it done. So it's actually it's a little bit tricky. If you're still with me, just actually hold on tight to see how we get it done. Is some kind of a little bit tricky. So all we need to do is just to click on this one and actually have it copied. So when you have it copied from here, just copy it and come right here and have it dropped right in here. So it's giving us the value we have from here, but that is not what we really want. So I can actually double click on this and actually move this for this. So once I have actually done this, let me see what I'm gonna do. So now the next thing I'm gonna do right now is just for me to actually get this header right here, so that it can actually pull value from this 2017, and it's only for technical skill and now only for soft skill if I want to do that. So I'm just going to go right here and actually make a multiplication, open bracket, and now I'm going to say HR, and now we open curly brace, and now we talk about training type. So the training type is going to be this, the training type. I'm gonna have to close this and equal to just this. So that's how tricky this could be. So now if I have it closed and I hit enter, I'm gonna have 0. So which means we are not correct with what we are doing. So let me just go to the data. So it's training type, of course it's training type. Okay, if I go right here back to my dashboard, I'm gonna make sure I clear everything that has to do with filter. Even this here, I'm gonna clear all the filter right on it. So now if I go back to this particular analysis, let me see what is wrong with it. Now I believe you can spot what is wrong, so I'm gonna double click on it and I'm gonna have to come right here and change this how aspect right. So color brace, and now I'm gonna save the year. So the year, I'm gonna cover this, color brace equal to 2017. So if I hit enter, I have it correctly. So I'm just gonna double click and I have it for others. So can you see that it's actually shifting? If you see this, it's shifting, which is very wrong. So what we're gonna do right now is just to double click on this and make sure I have this absolutely locked down. So if I go like this and actually make sure I copy this down, it's gonna work so fine. So the next thing I'm gonna do right now is just to copy this away from here. I'm gonna copy this, copy. I come right here, I'm gonna have to drop this down here. So I'm gonna do a little trick on it. So bring this right here and think I'm so cool with this. So fine. So this is what I'm gonna do. Copy it down, we have this. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now is just to make sure you highlight everything, and you can now create a kind of chart you want to create by going to the top level right here. Then you hit on insert, and from insert you go and create your type of chart from here. So I can actually go to recommended chart and you see which chart you really feel like you are cool with, and I'm going to say okay, maybe I'm cool with this, but I'm just much more comfortable with something like this. Okay, fine. You have something like this. Either of it could actually go for you, so anyone you want to actually opt for is cool. So I'm gonna go for this, and I'm gonna have to remove the header, and the header now is gonna be this particular soft skill right here. I have to move it to the top level to make sure it's not a header, which is the legend. So I'm gonna take it to the top level. So exactly, so we can now make it smaller. So make this a little bit shrink. So I can now remove this and have this go down. So now if I now cut it away from here and I'll take it to my dashboard, all I need to do is just to make sure I make it sit so well tightly on it. So exactly, so you can actually bring this to the top, give it a lot of space, and you can click and give it the data label right on it, and click right here and give it your data label. So data label, so we have something like this. That is nice. So we have something like this, which is very cool. So now we've just gotten something realized like this, so which is very okay. So now if you take a look at the whole dashboard, it's actually at its own shape. So the next thing we're going to be doing right now is how we can actually make sure we create a very nice login just like this, to make sure every single time somebody wants to actually access our data, nobody will have any access to get into our data without our notice. Else you can go ahead and request for password and username, and even tell us in a little message where from, which department, and whatsoever. Okay, right now if you've watched to this end, my Excel dashboard is very powerful. You might really want to stick around to learn more about Excel dashboard. By clicking any of this particular card right here, you would have access to so many dashboards that I've actually created previously, or go below this very video and click that link and start learning now. Thanks for watching. Stay blessed and stay out of trouble.